Today, I'm in my thrifted Milkmaid dress to talk to you all about Milkmaid dresses and why they are triggering other women. Because apparently a milkmaid or a prairie dress is giving conservatism, and women can just not give off that vibe at all. Especially in the nightlife going out clubbing scene, if we even call it clubbing anymore. I don't know. I've been checked out of that scene for, well, really ever. Because apparently these dresses have now made their way into bars and dance floors. And rather than just appreciating cute, often a bit more modest attire, women are blaming the big bad conservatives. But before we get into that element of this is just the first TikTok that I saw. It was just fed to me on my For You page. And at first I just thought it was funny, but the comments were what made me want to do an episode about this. How it feels to go out at 25 and see that 19 to 22-year-olds going out attire is now Little House on the Prairie themed. So she's in her like clubbing fit, you know, the short shorts, the crop top, the high heels, and she just wasn't feeling the vibes because girls are wearing dresses now. Those shorts look massively uncomfortable. Now, I'm gonna get into that here, just about what the old clubbing attire was and why it's an objectively good thing if we're going the direction of just like beautiful dresses to just dance around in and not that. But regardless, that video has 2.2 million likes. So this was relatable for a lot of girls because I wasn't even sure if this was accurate. Like, again, I don't quite know the clubbing scene these days. I really shouldn't say these days. It's more or less like going out. I feel like clubbing, I think of like a rave. And then going out and just like there being a dance floor, I don't equate with clubbing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I literally have no idea because I've never experienced
any of this.
That.
Yeah, I just know like you go to a bar after a certain hour and then there's like a little bit of a dance floor happening. So that's what I'm familiar with. I don't know if clubbing is different than that. Just like two conservative girls trying to like, okay, what is clubbing? How do we define this for the people? Okay, you guys know, you get it, okay? But they're changing the way that they dress. This is the moral of that story. And specifically, this creator who kind of started this whole conversation or trend, she was saying how she was going out in Chapel Hill, which is in obviously North Carolina, and many of the girls were in dresses. So that's where she noticed that happening. One person said, I'm older Gen Z and just want to go to the club dressed like Snooki, but the rest of my gen out here looking like Laura Ingalls.
It's cold outside, but I'm still looking like a daddy because a hoe never gets cold.
I love how we're distinguishing older Gen Z from younger Gen Z because I am an older Gen Z and they are, I mean, we're vastly different groups of people. Who would have thought the youngins are the ones dressing like Laura Ingalls? I like a new dawn. Another girl said, bro, I'll go to the club dressed like Snooki and all the girls are wearing Milkmaid dresses and tennis shoes. Like, hello? That sounds just comfortable. That sounds like they have retired the looks of yesteryear that were horribly uncomfortable, objectively not even that like beautiful of a look. And they've opted for a pretty dress and then shoes to dance in. I see nothing wrong with this so far. Nothing controversial, nothing anything, okay? Someone else said, y'all hoed it up for too long to the new gen bringing back modesty. Is it the worst thing ever that women are no longer emulating the early 2000s Kardashians or the Snookies of the world as their appropriate night out look? I mean, that doesn't seem crazy to me. That seems like it finally makes sense. And maybe, just maybe, girls have caught on to the trend of men liking girls in, wait for it, dresses. Wow. Another person said, bring back individual style. Which, if I have any beef with Gen Z's style choices, I would say that we are lacking a bit with individuality because I see a lot of people, especially a lot of TikToks of people noticing this, where it's just a bunch of girls, they're all wearing the exact same Abercrombie jeans, white Air Force Ones, a black fitted top, like they all look exactly the same with their outfits. So I think this also just helps with the individuality of girls wearing dresses. But I do also think that every generation is sort of guilty of all kind of wearing the same thing. That's why we're all referring to the Snooki look and we know what we're talking about because everyone used to dress like that. But for this Milkmaid or just prairie dress trend, I think it's finally something different. So great. But naturally, women are not wearing these dresses, especially even the slightly more modest ones, because they want to. It's because of misogyny. And it's conservatism just permeating through their brains. So exhausting. One girl under that first video said, no, because not to be that friend that's too woke, and I won't get into it, but it is an indicator of a much bigger issue. But other girls, they did get into it. Someone said, alt-right pipeline, and I'm not joking. Alt-right pipeline. If you're wearing a dress, ladies, watch out, because soon you're gonna become a full-blown MAGA supporter. It is kind of funny how all women are picking up on the trad wife trend even a little bit, because I think there's like a little part of all of us that are sort of inspired by maybe the like ballerina farm ones that are just objectively beautiful in their Milkmaid dresses, running a farm, gallivanting around it with their chickens and holding their babies. It does look idyllic and beautiful. And not just for men, but to us, because it's beautiful and it's feminine and it's freeing. Another girl said, they're so conservative. And for what? The dresses are so conservative? or the girls wearing the dresses, or both? Like, how dare you wear something conservative looking to a club? Like, you must wear the least amount of clothes as possible. And if you do not, misogyny. Make that make sense. Another girl said, and so many conversation about dressing modesty are done with the weird protecting your purity religious undertones. We are going back, I fear. Yes, we're going back to wearing a bit more clothes. That's a dark time. What? Oh, this is so dumb. Someone else said, the shift is political. It's not modesty, it's political. Fashion has always been political. Yes, of course you can be wearing a Milkmaid dress because you like it. Think of this current climate and accessibility. So she's saying you could be wearing it because you like it, but you're not. Because it's actually political.
Also, fact check false, because I just looked this up and these dresses became trendy in 2020 when Biden was president. By Reformation, they kind of started the trend.
Yep.
So her argument here of this being, girls are conservative now and so they're dressing conservatively and it's all Trump's fault and political, just not it.
They're talking about accessibility, and it's like, if you go buy one of these dresses at the store, like Reformation or House of CB, who are doing this style right now because they've seen it become a trend, they're hundreds of dollars. Like, we're not suddenly going back to a Milkmaiden era of dress because we're hand sewing our outfits. Like, we're not in that kind of economy, okay? So I saw a lot of girls being like, well, yeah, that's because, they have to thrift them and dress. No, also, these are very hard to thrift, I'll just say. Like, this is not, typically people are buying them. They're very expensive. This is not a sign that, like, women have no money anymore, which I saw a girl saying. I mean, everything is a stretch. Another girl said, they're drinking raw milk and brushing their teeth with clay. You'll have more fun with elders. Which, okay, to be fair, my all-natural toothpaste did me very, very dirty. But my raw milk is still the elite milk and no one can tell me otherwise, okay? But I would just say maybe don't use all-natural toothpaste if you have sensitive teeth. Or bad genes. Sorry, Dad. But while I am no longer a fan of natural toothpaste, I am a fan of balance of nature. Because imagine trying to eat 31 different fruits and vegetables every single day. That sounds miserable, time-consuming, and also impossible. But with balance of nature fruits and veggies, there's never been a more convenient dietary supplement to ensure that you get a wide variety of fruits and veggies in every single day with 31 different whole fruit and vegetable ingredients. Balance of nature takes fruits and veggies, they freeze-dry them, turn them into a powder, and then put them into a capsule. Then all you have to do is take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, and your body knows what to do with them. I have my fruit and veggie capsules right next to all my other supplements, and so I just take them every day and make sure that I'm getting that good, balanced, nutrient-rich diet, just like when I drink my raw milk, because that also helps with my diet and just making sure I'm getting everything as natural as possible. And Balance of Nature literally is that, because it's just the vegetables and fruits just freeze-dried. Nothing else there but goodness. So if you want to give Balance of Nature a try, you can go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Conrad for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Plus, you'll get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Conrad today. Another woman said, as a 26-year-old who went out yesterday, I was upset. Where's the no clothes at? I mean, what a time to be alive. Truly. It's like the girls are like, please, girls, wear no clothes. Please be nude with me at these clubs because, like, we need to all look slutty together. I mean, I do think that makes sense. Like, if everyone's not wearing clothes, then you don't feel as maybe convicted or weird about what you're wearing.
Suddenly you feel like you're actually naked.
But suddenly when girls are, like, sort of clothed, it's like, oh. The girlies are sad that other girlies are no longer showing up in their nipple pasties to the club.
In the club, we all fam.
But apparently this is all because of misogyny. Right, because that makes sense. I mean, the women who dress a bit more modestly and feminine, it's because of actually a hatred toward women. Because that is what misogyny means. I literally just Googled it again for this episode because every time I hear it, I'm like, what is that word again? It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it's an innate hatred for women. Men hate women so much that they're wearing dresses that make men like the women more. We tracking? No, probably not, because it doesn't make any sense. Here's another girl talking about this.
You just want to put on all these stupid Milkmaid dresses. Get out of the Milkmaid dress. Put the beige paint away. Get some hot pink. Get some leopard print. Put some tunes on. Take a Xanax and get in the club. Let's start having fun again.
It's like the darkness, the depression in her eyes, being like, let's start having fun again because this is fun. This is female empowerment. Right, ladies? Take your Xanax. I mean, that's like, I see that, I'm like, no, I'm a pass on that. I want nothing to do with that energy. I'll stay in my Milkmaid dress. So hot pink is the literal worst color, and leopard print should have stayed in 2008 and never returned, and I will die on that hill. The cut-off short shorts, the weird leopard print whatever shirts, the fitted mini dresses, those aren't things that I necessarily think I ever wore to impress myself. They were objectively very uncomfortable. You just get wedgies the whole time. You have to walk around and yank your dress down every 5 steps, and you can't actually easily dance in them. But flowy dresses, well, that's the attire women have danced in for centuries. I saw so many women being like, well, you can't dance in those dresses in the milk. Yes, you can. Way easier than the stupid mini skirts and the pencil skirts we used to wear. Like, what? And again, in the nightlife and maybe the dating scene, women have also picked up on the fact that men like women in dresses, especially these pretty flowy dresses, ones that are just feminine and nice. Like these girls who picked up on the whole sundress theory, which is that men, love girls in sundresses, and now they're wearing those to the club because they get more attention. These aren't necessarily modest, but they're just more flowy. That's kind of the whole thing here. It's like if you wear something flowy, it's like modest. It's just not showing everything. It said, PSA ladies, sundress theory is real. We have never had more attention in our lives than when we wore these flowy Mormon-looking outfits to the club. Although there were plenty of TikToks of women talking about misogyny, raging about it. Even the one that I was going to show you guys, it's been deleted. But I think it was deleted because the comment section under that video was a much different tone of women actually being like, hey, girls wearing pretty dresses to the club is not misogyny. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a really, really good thing. So here are a couple of those comments, which I still have access to. But they said, I'm so ready for women's modesty era, finally. Another comment, which again was under a video of a girl wearing a beautiful dress, stitched kind of green screen with another girl yelling at that girl being like, you can't wear that to the club. Like, that's not right. The person said, she's beautiful and not showing all of her goods. I'm glad to see where society is going. You keep doing you and they will do them. I think that's the point here. If you're more comfortable in feminine, loose, flowy dresses, wear those. But also, let's not make it some weird political statement just because women are starting to dress more feminine again. Women noticing that men like them a bit more covered and looking feminine is being called misogynist from other women who are maybe jealous that the women who are less clothed are getting less attention. And they're not all super modest dresses. Like we're not talking about like these like neck high, no skin showing. I mean, heck, I'm wearing like a freaking spaghetti strap shirt. Like they're not all stuck to every single part of you the whole way down. Like they're just kind of flowing. It's more feminine. It's just like a pretty dress. So while there are millions of women out here that see this move toward dresses as a sign of our society spiraling downhill and out of control, I find myself in the other camp. The one that sees that barely wearing any clothes to the club isn't all that empowering or feminine.
And an item of clothing is not going to determine whether or not you're a misogynist.
But it's the misogyny of our society that is forcing women back into these traditional stereotypes where they must dress a certain way. That's what they're saying with all this. That's why they're saying we're blaming misogyny because it's the men of the world, it's the political climate of our country that women are being forced to wear milkmaid dresses because pretty soon they're going to have to just be forced to only stay at home and just have babies and not get to live freely. And like, that's where they're going with this.
I mean, that's the whole problem with feminism, though, is because they always lean more towards women actually should do one thing, which is, dress half naked.
Right, be super
work
empowered.
your job. And if you're not doing that, if you're, a trad wife or you just want to have kids or you want to dress femininely, then that's supposed to be bad.
And that's misogyny because that's not the woman's free will to want to do that. That must be the man. And the very idea that men are attracted to women at the club wearing these dresses, again, just dispels the misogynist accusations even further. Maybe, just maybe, it's as simple as this. Women are realizing that they enjoy acting and dressing feminine again. And the men like it too. Shocking. Thanks so much for watching today's episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And last but not least, if you want more content, you can also follow me on my personal accounts, as well as our new comment section Instagram. See you guys in the comments.